Hello and welcome to the 298th episode of the Stateside Soccer Show as we approach episode 300. My name is Jordan, and with me, as always, is Logan. How are you today, Logan?
I am 298 episodes old of Stateside Soccer Show, so that's pretty exciting. Jordan, I guess you had mentioned this a while ago, but I guess I just realized that because I was checking in here and our thing
Yeah,
was like Stateside 298. I was like, dang, have we really done almost 300 episodes of this show? But
you haven't. You've
no,
done like
I
16
I'm a
episodes.
slacker. Yes, absolutely.
You
And
have
I'm
16 or
actually
17, but
right.
yeah,
So but no, I'm
you're
good,
close.
Jordan. I feel refreshed off of a really busy work week last week. I know you and I had a crazy schedule last week, so we weren't able to record, but
Yeah, maybe I'll address that right now. Lots going on with scheduling after my wife had a procedure, so then it's kind of left me, we record these in the week because the games are on the weekend, so we can't really we can record other stuff on the weekends, and we do, but like for this, we can't record on the weekend. So uh just bear with us here. Some episodes might be every other week. I would say probably, let's say for right now, most likely going to be every other week until for the next month or so, while I try to work some things out. But we'll always come back in here and you know follow up with everybody. And of course, I'm hoping with that the our build up to the World Cup and the World Cup itself, I'll be able to set some stuff aside, hopefully, to be able to do that. So, um, but yeah, we're back. If we had been able to do last week, we'd be on 299 right now, but we're on 298. So another couple weeks away from episode 300. 6 years into the podcast. Okay, so just some quick notes here that I want to make a mention of. Logan, they have now approved for MLS teams to look like NASCAR teams. Did you know that? Because we are going to be able to have sponsors below the numbers on the jersey, like the 90s.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited about this. I've always enjoyed the look of the NASCAR race cars of just
Yes. Also, as
stickers
people would probably
everywhere.
say, like Liga Mekis has a lot of ads.
It's very true.
Um, it's I want to make I want to make the meme, from the poem where it's like, first they came for the front of the jersey, I said nothing. Then they came for the sleeves, and I said nothing. Then they came for below the numbers, because that's how it feels. And this is for every sport right now. We now have ads on the sides of helmets during baseball playoffs. Not during the regular season, just during playoffs. At the best time, the time that I'm like, oh, if the Orioles ever win a World Series, my highlight reels will have a damn ad on the side of their helmets. And it's just continuing this trend of, it seems like this is almost how it used to be in the past for certain things, and it's gotten worse and worse and worse. Like I said, MLS used to have this. Then they kind of moved to not having it. Because I remember the DC United, like 90s, had like Mountain Dew or Sierra Mist. I think it was Sierra Mist on the back of their kit. And, it's the NBA has it on the little thing, right? The NFL somehow, because I guess they're so big, the
Yeah,
only one that has
they've
not had
avoided
this
it. Yeah,
right now, because baseball has the sleeves. If you watch like Caribbean baseball, they have it looking like the soccer jerseys, where they have it like below the number on the thigh. They have it like everywhere, and it sucks because I don't know. I feel like I'm just gonna have to hold on to my old jerseys and probably never buy a new one. And I'll tell you, the Union are making that very easy for this year anyway, because of that atrocity that they're wearing. So, you know, uh, because even they usually put the ads on the replicas. So, I mean, we're probably gonna be looking like billboards out there.
I just you said it in one of our podcasts recently. You're like, is everything just getting worse at this point? I
Yeah,
was like, pretty much everything's gone to
people call
these
it
big corporations.
enshittification.
Yeah. I don't I just I Jordan, I've never watched a soccer game presented by Starry and went, you know what I need? A Starry. That's what I need. And I just don't know many that people that consume
Saturday
it.
night, you're watching the Walmart showdown. You're not like, damn, I need to get to Walmart.
You know what's funny is I saw Walmart Showdown. I turned the TV off and I was like, you know what? I don't want to even watch MLS. I want to go to Walmart. So you're losing
Oh, so it
MLS.
worked the wrong way on you.
Yes, exactly. I turned it off and went to Target. It was like,
You're
oh,
like,
I
I'm a
remember.
Minnesota fan.
Right. And if the
Like, go to
games are
Target.
bad, I'm like, hell to the no. I'm going to Aldi. Like Aldi's the variant. So
I
yeah,
can't wait till
but-
Minnesota's on the Walmart game because they have the Target kit. So
oh
like,
yeah, that'll be
that's
really conflicting.
Walmart being
there.
like, get that off of them right now.
Brutal.
Oh no, it just it sucks. It gets worse and worse because with like let's say Major League Baseball, having the helmet ads for the postseason, that's going to come into the regular season soon because probably the next time they can fit that in there, the next CBA, I guess, because once you open that door, it doesn't close. And maybe I'm wrong in that sense because we did used to have ads on the bottom of the numbers in Major League Soccer, or maybe it was above the numbers. I'm kind of forgetting I think it was below, but and we did close that door, but then we've reopened it. Now it just feels like the next thing is going to be above the numbers, and then they're going to go with the thigh of the shorts or the bottom of the back of the shorts. It just we see ads everywhere as it is. The billboards on the on the field have ads are now like Saturday Night Soccer is an ad for Walmart. I know this stuff has been around for a while. We've always had like the Audi post game show or the Audi MLS stats or whatever, but it's like, when is enough really at a certain point, especially with they're going to have all this influx of money and they're cutting back content. Kind of sucks.
Have you gotten any Continental tires since you've started listening to the MLS stuff?
No.
Me either. I've avoided the Continental tires. Actually, I go against Continental because there's so much in my ears. I go with every other brand. Bridgestone, like give me something.
I think now they have I think they changed it from Continental because I know that used to be what Extra Time was presented by all.
Yeah.
But I think it's like Discount Tire or something. They have an ad for.
So much of tire companies were like, you know what would be good advertisement? Soccer.
Major League Soccer. Yeah, not NASCAR, not F1. Let's advertise on a sport that doesn't need tires.
Yeah. They probably do Olympic swimming as well.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the USL players may strike as their CBA deal is up, so we're keeping an eye on that. That may cause some issues for USL since they already kind of operate on a very tight budget as it is. Though, hey, if we have it, you really think USL should be the one with the Apple deal because it seems like they're trying to sign Danny Rojas. They've had the actor who plays Danny Rojas make some appearances. He also made an appearance for I think the Fire, like as a like during this preseason or something. But yeah, so we'll see. Maybe in the Fire Academy or youth team or something that he was able to be in a friendly on or something. But we'll see if he signs. That could get. I mean, he's on State Farm commercials and stuff. That could be a big deal.
He's a big deal, like across the board.
He was in Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Yeah,
as the bartender.
He's in everything. So,
Fire broke ground on their new stadium, so that opens in 2028. Shockingly, it's in Chicago. It is not in Indiana like the Bears. So, okay. So let's get ready to go through week 1 and week 2. I was telling you, offline as we were trying to prep for this. Here's the way we're going to go, listeners. We're going to talk about, I'm going to read the results for week 1 and kind of go over week 2. And then we'll just kind of talk about the standings and where everything stands right now. and kind of anything that jumps out to us as overreactions, like we typically like to do on the first week or so of the season. And because I'll tell you, Logan, not only are teams without any wins, Orlando and Philly, for people, if this is your first episode, I'm a Philly fan, he's an Orlando fan. They're also without any points to start the season.
We're off to a good start here.
Other teams without points are Toronto, New England, Atlanta, Montreal, while everybody in the West has at least 1 point. So take for that what you will. Okay. So week 1 kicked off. St. Louis and Charlotte drew with a 1-1 scoreline. Cincy beat Atlanta 2-0. DC United beat Philly 1-0. There was a Philly red card for dissent. Red Bulls beat Orlando 2-1. Julian Hall with 2 goals. 17-year-old. He's going to have another goal in the next game and have 3 to start the season. Vancouver 1-0 over RSL. Austin drew with Minnesota 2-2. Dallas and Toronto. Dallas beat Toronto 3-2. Houston beat Chicago 2-1. Nashville beat New England 4-1. LAFC thrashed Miami 3-0. Portland beat Columbus 3-2. San Diego smacked my wooden spoon pick of Montreal 5-0. Montreal got a red card. San Jose beat Sporting KC 3-0, a team that Logan did not believe in, but I do. And LA Galaxy, NYCFC drew 1-1, while Seattle ended the week with a 2-0 victory over Colorado. And that was the end of week 1. And you say, not really big surprises there, except for maybe DC United not losing 7-0 like they usually do against Philly, which might be a bad omen for the Philadelphia Union. But did anybody shock you in week 1? I guess maybe LAFC beating Miami by such a big margin is newsworthy.
Yeah, like I think usually what we would have done is we'd have jumped on here after week 1 and really given some crazy hot takes after 1 week of watching some soccer, some footy. But as far as like surprises, I mean, I think it's tough because it's like I'm trying to think of who I thought would have done well. I guess ultimately the biggest for me probably would have been Philly? Maybe like that was pretty shocking. DC's pretty bad, so
I wasn't that. I'll tell you, I wasn't that shocked.
Yeah.
Of course, I've been very down on Philly going into the season, but you're like, it's DC United, right? Like, so you're kind of thinking like maybe I'll be wrong and they'll beat DC like they usually do, but no, DC United scored pretty quickly, and it was Ty Baribo, who, of course, the Philadelphia Union got rid of.
Right.
And that's a common theme here in the sense of my frustration with the team of how many times have we – this feels like I'm going to say this feels very similar to 2011. The Union make the playoffs for the first time. That's year 2, right? They started in 2010, 2011. I'm there against Houston. Sebastian Letou scores a penalty, right? It's big. It's leg 1. And then leg 2 happens. Houston moves on. Okay, whatever. After that, the Union traded Sebastian Letou away, and the team got worse. Now, looking at this, it's like, okay, well, we got rid of Ty Baribo. We got rid of Glesnes, right? Elliott left a couple years ago or, last year. It is... Kai Wagner's gone. Like they've lost players and they've been signing players, but they're players that are new to MLS that are going to come in, and we're going to have an adjustment period, and we'll have to figure out if they can sink or swim. And, spoiler alert, Union lose in the last minute of the game against NYCFC, but they also have another red card for dissent. So they have 2 red cards for dissent, which you can say, a lot of Union fans are like, oh, these refs are so soft. But it's like, maybe don't do that, especially if you're already on a yellow card. I don't know. Like, it's frustrating. It makes it feel like there is no like discipline. It's like when you're watching your football team like constantly jump offside or have stupid penalties that you're like they're undisciplined, and that's what it kind of feels like right now for Philadelphia. And they haven't made it better at all by wearing those kits. But two, you still have the investigation going on with your GM. So when that happens, who's making the decisions? Who's putting the pieces together? I have no clue. That's kind of the thing that we have, like, I don't know. It feels like if it was the NFL, we would know if a person is suspended, who's making the decisions in the interim. We don't know that in this league. It's been all kept very close to the chest. We have, I mean, it could be Ernst Tanner still making the decisions while he's being investigated. I have no clue how that works. You know, it's kind of like, kind of like when the Marlins coach, right, comes back in with a disguise. Like it could be that, you know, like it's very frustrating not knowing anything going on, and it seems like the Union have really backslid. And I feel bad for Bradley Carnell too. You know, I know some are blaming him, but I want to say he goes out there and wins the West with St. Louis, and then has a down year. And then he comes here, wins the East, wins the Supporter Shield, and then they trade all of his players away. I'm very kind of like, what is this guy's luck?
It's become laughable. And we saw Bradley Carnell get into it with former St. Louis players, and then after he left, he got into it when he was on the Philadelphia sideline with former players. And so you wonder, it's like this poor guy, man, he's just gone through the ringer every time that he stepped into a new situation. But I do think, like you said, Jordan, I mean, I guess we overlook the fact that, and maybe not so much you, but definitely the rest of us that are just that consider a Union a top 5 or 6 lock. Like it's pretty easy when we're doing predictions to just kind of lock them in. But I mean, the last 2 games, especially Descent, Jordan, that is and it's a youthful thing, and they're a very young team. I mean, you look up and down this roster now, Jordan, it's like it's been completely stripped of every piece of experience that they had except Andre Blake and Bedoya. So it's like, where the hell did all their experience go? I mean, Jordan, this was one of the most experienced teams. I'm not kidding. Like 2 years ago, I think they were the most experienced, like MLS wise, the most experienced team that they had in MLS. And now you're looking at guys that, dude, like they put guys out there. I'm like, who the hell is that? Like it's
the more
it's a game of who's who.
more and more years that pass, 2022 was the year.
Yeah.
Elliott puts us in the lead with 90 seconds left, and we blow it to Gareth Bale. And that was the year to win it.
Yeah.
You know, last year you lose to this NYCFC team in the, in the playoffs to go. NYCFC, you know, would continue through the playoffs while I don't know, they're a real rival, really. I remember going around Salt Lake when I went there in, what year was that? 2021. That was the year where like the kit man and like stuff was, not the kit man, but you know, like the assistant coach and stuff was getting into it with the NYCFC fans, NYCFC players, and everybody's getting upset. And this team, just once we tied it up, I still thought they're probably still gonna blow this, and they did. And it was a 99th minute goal. That ended up blowing it. Now for Inter Miami, who I led the question with, right? 3-0 LAFC beat them. We get to halftime. Let's change focus to your team. We get to halftime last week, and Orlando is up 2-0. And it's starting to feel like if you're a Miami fan, you're probably, oh my God, spiraling. Like we're down 3-0. Yes, we just won They
looked awful in Champions League too. Like they just skate away from a team that I think they're in Puerto Rico or one of the islands and just barely escaped with a win pretty late in that game too. So it was like, ooh.
Yeah, and so at that point you've shipped 5 goals to start the season without scoring any. And then you come from in the second half, you come from 2-0 down. Miami scores 4 goals. You're texting me throughout saying what an epic collapse it was. What happened from Orlando's point of view?
I mean, defensively, this is the same story we write over and over again here in Orlando, is the fact that we are never really a team that's going to burn down the door when it comes to, I mean, getting as many goals as possible to try to extend leads. And uh, I was actually shocked that we went up 2-0 because Orlando can go through spells, especially early on in seasons. I feel like we've gotten on this podcast for 3 or 4 years straight saying there's Orlando starting slow out of the gate again, can't score goals, can't defend. It's the same story over and over and over. And I'm texting Matt, who's started watching Orlando City more so last year and now into this year too. And he's just like, what is the problem? And I was like, it honestly stems from them never being healthy defensively. Like it's been years since they've been healthy defensively. And then when they get those guys back, they're just not quality. Like Janssen might be the most quality player outside of Alex Freeman that they've had. So it's been tough. Calese was really bad over the last couple of seasons. They go out and get Maxime Crepeau, who Jordan, I thought that was like when they made that signing, like that's a huge signing. And defensively, this team's going to be better, but they're no better than they were. I mean, Bercalo is like, it's like having multiple Schlegels. Schlegel's gone now. I mean, most of that midfield, like defensive midfield, is gone. So, and Atuesta's just now getting back to form. So he came on late, and he's not been, the Atuesta that we're used to seeing in MLS. And it's just been from their midfield back, man. There's just no defensive pressure. And I said this right when it happened, when Messi gets that first goal. I was like, they're gonna lose. And Matt's like, no, there's no. I was like, nope, they're gonna lose this game. Like this definitely feels like one of those games they lose. And sure enough, Messi happens, and then he just starts to unravel teams the way that he can. And it's not even through his scoring most of the time. Like a lot of time, it's what he does to put his fellow attackers in dangerous positions. And you just talk about a team that, I mean, if they get any kind of help with Messi, it just becomes too tall of a task to try to take down. And yeah, so it was bad. I mean, they were on. There was a point there, like it was like constant Miami pressure of on the goal, on the goal, on the. I was like,
I mean, yeah, they ended up with.
"Jeez."
I mean, they ended up with 61% possession. They ended up with a
Yeah.
1.82 xG, which is a whole full point better than Orlando, who had a
Mhm.
0.81. 15 total shots, 8 on target. 4 of those going in. You get the red card, second yellow for Orlando. I mean, it's just brutal game here. If we're looking at Orlando's form, I mean, I guess this is going back to what are they counting this as? Like postseason or regular season? Oh yeah, so they didn't make the playoffs, did they? Orlando?
Last year,
Or are
yeah,
they skipping that on here? Okay,
they've skipped.
so if you look at the team form on FOTMob, I'm guessing it skips the playoffs because it has regular season. They lost to the Red Bulls last week, lost to the Fire 3-1, lost to Toronto 4-2, lost to Vancouver 2-1, and drew with Columbus 1-1. So they haven't had a regular season win quite a while. Now, this is also Miami's first win at Orlando, is what I was reading.
Ever. Yeah.
So that's pretty big. Head to head, it's 7-6-6, so it's pretty even so far head to head. But yeah, it was their first Miami's first ever win in Orlando.
Yeah, they were the 9th place team last year. They just snuck in, but they did. And Matt made a good question. He was like, "Are they just going to always keep Oscar Pareja?" And I'm like, yeah, like I mean,
that's
this year,
the
I think
question,
if
right?
they miss the playoffs, they would fire him. But I think if they finish in the 6th, 7th, 8th, I could see him keeping his job.
I say this is a prove it year here. If they're not, seriously, for me, if they're not top 4, I don't know what else to do, right? So I'd feel like you'd fire them.
It depends.
I
what
might
they
be
bring
harsher
in,
than whatever they're, because you're like, oh, would you want to let go of a quality coach like this? I used to be a big Pereira fan. Honestly, I wanted him the U.S. coach after Klinsmann, and I thought he but even at Dallas, like, he at least had them in the top consistently. They just never won the cup. You know, Orlando had not a great season last year, and now you're looking at this rough start to begin with. Now, like you said, that's a common theme always with Orlando. Even before Oscar Pereira, there was years where they had slow starts. So I guess we'll figure out what to do there. But I mean, that game was a home game and was the Red Bull game also in Orlando?
Yes.
Yeah. So you start off the season 0-2 at home.
Yeah.
That's
not good, is it? We weren't great at
that's
home.
not good. Not good.
We've not
No,
been as
last
good
year
at
you were
home.
not good at home
No,
either, right?
it's not been good. It's not been fun.
-3 goal differential after signing Crépeau, who you would think would boost that. So
Yeah. And he stood on his head. I mean,
yeah,
don't
it's
get me
the
wrong.
defense in front of him. That's
He
the
literally
issue.
he was. I mean, this game could have easily been 6 or 7 to 2.
To
Like,
your
it
point,
was
though, like when they scored 2-0, I looked at the time remaining and I was like, they need to hold on.
yeah. Seriously, when they scored 2 when it was 2-1, I was like, "They're gonna lose." I can feel it.
I
Like,
kind of had the same vibe.
I
Once
was
it was
like,
2-1, I was
no.
like, there's the door for Miami. They're coming in. Because it's
'Cause it was
early. It was like
shortly
right
after.
as soon as
Yeah.
it was 48th minute or something. So
Yeah,
you
third
know
minute
that
in,
like
yeah.
that has a full and yeah, you're right. It was they played each other in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
And Miami had that same sort of uh like come from behind mentality because it looked like Orlando was going to get through against them, and then Messi went crazy. And very similar to this, he actually won goal of the match day, which I have a different pick, and my pick I don't even think was a finalist, but it's just so pretty. I'll talk about it later. Was that your cat?
Yeah, though I'm
We have
sure
a
the
special
listeners
guest.
got a good. They're my cats are cornering each other. They don't like each other, and there's one. So yeah, it's fun. They are not big fans of the Inter Miami Messi goal of the week either,
No,
Jordan. Yeah, they
they're
were
not.
pretty upset about that.
He had like 87% of the vote too.
Yeah.
Okay, so we also had LAFC beating Houston 2-0. 2 red cards for Houston, by the way. So that was I have a full note here. There were 7 red cards this weekend, which I tried to look up if that was the record. I have no clue. I don't know how to look that kind of stuff up. I Googled it and somebody said 6 was the highest from a couple years ago, but there had to be more than that. But anyway, if it is the record, it's 7. If not, it's still a high amount for a weekend of football. I mean, this was. I think the first angle for the Houston red card did not make it look like a red card, and then they had it work out another angle that definitely made it look like a red, and then there of course was like a goal scoring opportunity that ended up being a red. But LAFC start off the season hot, 2 wins, 5-0 overall. Not top of the West. Not top of the West. But compared to last year where they started off really slow, I feel pretty good about my pick of them being Supporter Shield winners because they're in it. They're in it. They have not given up a goal. Neither has the team above them. The teams above them, but I don't know. I'm feeling good about LAFC so far. And then we also had Minnesota beating Cincy 1-0. San Jose beating Atlanta 2-0. Timo Werner, Logan, makes his debut and assists immediately after.
That was a hell of an assist too. I mean, he put it right across the defender's face, and
I knew he would be good in this league. I'm a Chelsea fan. I remember how much he struggled over there, but this isn't the Premier League. So I knew with him coming over here, he'd probably be able to immediately make an impact. And so far he has.
Yeah. I mean, he does. He definitely has. He and Judd's played really well. They've they've had to replace a lot of people. I mean, Chicho Arango is no longer there.
Mhm.
You had Cade Cal, who was there in the past. So they're trying to find. They've always been trying, Jordan, to find the next big time player. I mean, Timo Werner is a huge get for a team like this. He's had, I think they said 40 appearances for the German national team. I mean, the
He's the
guy knows what he's doing.
perfect MLS player. And what I mean by
Yeah,
that is somebody that's played at those top levels and
yeah,
maybe doesn't have what it takes or didn't anymore, comes over here but is still young and skilled enough to make an immediate impact. And I'm going to really be excited to see if he continues doing what he's doing, what he started with this week, because I mean, immediately coming in and assisting, it's just San Jose. This is a team that really needs some good days. So having them be up there in second place of the West right now is pretty fun.
yeah, and especially for a team, Jordan, that I mean, this was a team that was on watch for breaking the record for most goals allowed in seasons. Like, I mean, we had two
Yeah.
back-to-back seasons. I think they were up over like 70 goals allowed.
Yeah.
And now, Jordan, they haven't even allowed a goal. I mean, they haven't
Yeah.
allowed a goal. Bruce, and you have you do. I will say that you have a pretty good sense of, and I think some people forget just how good Bruce Arena is, but you have a pretty good sense of the things that he can do, because I always feel like you usually pinpoint right when he starts to turn something around, and it does. It looks like they've built some pretty good talent around what they want to do. I think they've gotten rid of the pieces they don't really want, and I still give them a year or so before they're really competitive. But I do. I feel like they've got some nice pieces, like you said. 29 years old, Timo Werner. Like, you're right. I mean, this is a perfect age because he can go in MLS. You can go till you're probably like 35, 36 and still be in
Yeah.
your prime. So you've got, I mean, if he sticks around, you got 5 or 6 years of him. He can do a lot of things. I mean, he can score goals, but his biggest thing is setting guys up for goals. And that's always been his, and he's a high motor. He'll run his ass off. Like, he is a really, really good player. So I'm really excited to see what he
I'm
does
really
because
excited for this team. I
yeah,
was excited for them last year and they
yeah,
underperformed. They finished 10th. They missed the playoffs by goal differential or goals scored, I guess, whatever the tiebreaker was, because they finished with the same number of points of RSL, but they had a -3 goal differential. Oh, so it wasn't goal differential because RSL had -11. It must have been goals.
the
I think it's
tiebreaker
wins, right?
wins. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
RSL had another win, but this San Jose gave up 63 goals last year and scored 60. This team does not look like a team that's going to give up 63 goals this year, and they've already scored 5. So I feel pretty good about how Bruce has turned this team around. So I'm feeling excited. Hopefully this team can have a good. I've had a soft spot for them. Wondolowski, I can't believe he is gone. Still, it's been a whole new look for this team, and 2012, they had an amazing run with their Goonies Never Say Die. They were always last minute wins and everything. But having somebody like Bruce at the helm, you kind of questioned it going into this season. And I said, they're not going to do that again. They just can't. Like, he's going to have something fixed. I know it's only 2 games, but I mean, I don't recall how they started last year, but it just feels different. I think they started bad last year because I think I remember being like, "Oh,
Yeah,
we
it
gotta
didn't
give it
go
some
well.
time."
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so hopefully they have it turned around here. Let's get to. This is gonna sound like I'm picking on you, but I'm not. Let's get to another guy you doubted, Zhao Klaus, who scored 2 goals against Charlotte to have 3 goals in 2 matches as a
Probably
new look Galaxy.
yeah. Probably my favorite player in the league. Joao Klaus. Golden Boot prediction by Logan Joao
Yo, yeah,
Klaus.
yeah.
Don't pull that up.
Make
No, don't
that.
put that up. No, don't put that graphic up. Don't look at it. Yeah, Jordan. And I mean, I don't know if we can talk more, or if we talk more about the successes of Galaxy or the just a dismal start for Dean Smith and the Charlotte. The Crown is not.
Wait, don't I have a curse on them? Because I think the same thing happened last year, and I picked them to be top 4.
Pretty sure you
So
just you've basically destroyed the Queen City. So by
I
yourself.
think the same thing happened
I think you
last year
did
where I
too.
had them
Because you were like, I
predicted
think
high.
yes, because I think you were like, well, Dean's going to come in and really like. I think this is.
I
I'm
just
like,
watched the damn
dude.
documentary.
Yes, that's what it was. That's
and
exactly
I
what it
was
was.
like, man, I really liked them.
Yes, I remember that because I gave you a hard time about it just because you liked what was going on the documentary. That's exactly what it was.
I liked their mindset. It was.
Yeah.
I thought it would work out.
But Jordan, I think that you might be somewhat of an island if the Galaxy can pull off a top 4, because I don't think there were a lot of people picking Galaxy for top 4. So
Yeah, I have them
I'm
third,
pretty sure.
baby.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Not
you
looking
have
so
them.
great with San Diego being 6. I kind of predicted a down year for them, and they
But that
are
would be most people.
freaking hot.
Dude,
They are
they've got
hot right now, man.
they've got so much talent. I mean, look at the top like 5 or 6. Jordan, I was looking at it. I think they're all California teams. San Diego, San Jose,
California
LAFC.
dreaming, man.
Yeah,
I mean, let's talk about San Diego right now because I had them saved for near the last.
So
but
good.
I mean, this was my goal of the week, and this is probably a good team goal, I would say.
Yeah, it's a good goal.
Ingvartsen back to goal, flicks it over to Dreyer, who volleys it in. You can't ask for a prettier goal than that. That was my pick. And then, Andreas Dreyer immediately returns the favor by assisting Ingvartsen later in the game. And here's a fun stat. Dreyer is the second fastest to 20 goals and 20 assists in Major League Soccer. He did it in 36 matches. Do you remember how many Messi took?
Oh, God, no.
26 matches to get 2020.
That's insane.
That's
actually insane.
Carlos Vela is third. He did it in 41. So, I mean, he is the second best player to Messi, Anders Dreyer. Okay. Let's see. He's got last season he did 1919. So really, if he had just scored an assisted, if he had scored a goal in the first week of the season, he would have gotten in a one shorter game than he did, because he's got 1 goal, 3 assists this season. But yeah, so last year he just missed out on the 2020 in 34 games, but still that would have been 10 more than Messi.
Yeah.
It would have been 8 more than Messi. But I mean, I just, the way this team plays, their soccer is so beautiful. I mean, these 2 goals, it feels like I was playing FIFA and just watching, doing my beautiful build-up ball that I like to do, and then, scoring in the, I don't know. I really envy this team and how they're playing. I think they have a really good chance of doing something special. Now I feel really dumb that I put them so low in the West.
Yeah, Mikey Faris has him playing unbelievable, and he did last year too. And you're right, it is something noticeable when you're watching them play, how much the ball moves, how much fun they are to watch. I think they're I think just because of the pace that they have. And Anders Dreyer, I mean, this just goes to show you though, Jordan, just same kind of situation with Timo. Why players come over here and can have the success that they have, and the world's never really heard of them, like Denny Bouanga. You've got guys like this that come over, and they're not these flashy signings like James Rodriguez or Insigne or Bernadeschi. They're not that caliber, but you get them in these systems in the right spot, playing with pace, because MLS is just so fast the way that it plays, and it's a very attack-minded type of league. And you get them into these situations, and I think that's why you see some of these huge breakout seasons from guys that were passed up in Berlin, and Bundesliga teams just kind of casting them aside, Dutch teams casting them aside. It does. It goes to show you that it's a different type of league. And San Diego, I mean, I think you've said it enough of it to. I mean, this team's a title contender if they continue to play like this. I mean, they've been really
They
impressive so
had
far.
65% possession, 10 shots, 6 on target.
Mhm.
It just it was amazing watching them play, and I mean, they're a team that I would probably choose to watch as a casual because they've
Mhm.
just been so electric, I feel like.
Yeah. And we forget, like, I know you know, but, like, I think many people forget, San Diego is such a huge soccer hub in the United States. It's one of the
Mhm.
biggest. So it's cool. It's a lot of fun because San Diego just does not have a lot to celebrate with their sports teams. So
No, I mean, the
this has
Padres
been
are
fun.
consistently good, but
Right.
mess up in the postseason, and
Yeah.
you
Their
got
football team left the whole city. So
exactly. That's the biggest thing. MLS has one thing they've done really good is infiltrating markets that lost the
Yes,
NFL
Seattle
team. They Seattle,
with the NBA. Yeah.
with the NBA, yes, but St. Louis, when they lost the Rams, almost immediately St. Louis City is announced as
Yeah.
coming, and then you have San Diego's Chargers leave, and then we get San Diego FC. So
Miami came in. Their team is still there, but they act like they're not there.
yeah, there you go. And you know what? Miami's baseball fans don't show up anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is what it is, I guess. RSL beat Seattle 2-1. Seattle had a goal called back for offside. They had a few chances to really equalize, didn't get it done. NYCFC beat the Union 2-1. Talked about that a bit earlier. Red Bulls New York beat New England 1-0. And Michael Bradley starts his career with 2 wins, top of the East. Julian Hall, 2 goals versus Orlando, 1 versus New England, 17 years old.
He's an American, Jordan.
Get him in the World Cup.
Get him
in the World Cup.
He and Alex Freeman put him on the both sides. Like, put him in. I was like, you got like 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds. Diego Luna. Like, I'm all for it. I'm for chaos. Just put the guys in there that you. But yeah, no, Julian Hall, dude, he tore Orlando City a new one, and now he's doing it again. It's like, dude, who are you?
It just feels so different. Michael Bradley immediately came in and made an impact to this team. I mean, it's crazy.
And you were the beneficiary of having been a fan of MLS for so long that you pretty much followed Bob Bradley's whole career. So it's pretty cool, right, to see Michael step in. And we both have watched like you more so than I, but like through World Cups and how instrumental he is to a team. And I think Michael Bradley, there was always talking during those World Cups. It was always about Landon Donovan and Dempsey, and you talked about Howard and Beasley.
And some people really didn't like Michael. They thought it was nepotism and stuff, but he was one of the heart of the team.
Yes,
he really was. I mean,
Toronto, like
he used to be a real hothead. I remember that before 2010 World Cup. I remember him getting sent off for something in like 2008, 2009, somewhere around there in a friendly or a qualifying game or something that he got a red card for. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just really like to see him as it's weird to see him as a coach. This is one of those times where seeing, like, I remember being 21. Was I 21? 19? I guess I was 19. Yeah, during 2010 World Cup, watching him, against Slovenia and stuff in the World Cup. And now I'm sitting here watching him coach a game, and we're talking about Julian Hall, who was maybe a year old during that World Cup 2010. That's scary.
It is.
That is scary.
It's scary because this hasn't happened as much in soccer because I think it's harder. But in baseball, when you're starting to see people you grew up idolizing, kids show up, it's like, whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
don't like that. Like Vladimir Guerrero Jr., that's no fun.
Yeah, try to tell kids, like, I know, I watched his
Fernando
dad.
Tatis,
We don't
have that yet, but once Messi kids like starts playing, we're all gonna feel real old.
We gotta try to get them some U.S. passports.
I know. I was like, why couldn't you have waited to have kids over here?
Yeah, until you come over here.
Right.
It's like he already regrets not learning English. Come on.
Maybe we
Throw
can
us a bone
convince
here.
him. Maybe we can convince him to have
Yes.
another child.
Throw us a bone here, dude.
Right.
Chicago beat Montreal 3-1. There's a red card for Chicago in the 56th minute while they're up 1-0. And you're like, maybe Montreal isn't in here, but they're like, no, we're destined for the wooden spoon. So Chicago, go ahead and score 2 more on us. That third goal is insane, by the way, with how it like hits the post, hits the bar, and then somebody's there to tap it in.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like a very video gamey goal there.
Did you see all the goals or all the attempts at goals this week from like the half, like the
Yes, I was going to mention that.
midfield?
Like, goalies out and they're just
there's like
whipping
4 or 5 of them. Like Orlando had a couple.
Some were close.
Hugo Lloris almost got caught out on one. I was like, that's shocking, actually.
Yeah, it was something that stood out to me as well as all the red cards.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is everybody trying to nail these shots from half court, half field? It's what it feels like. It feels like at the end of the half when the basketball player just throws it up.
Yeah.
Dallas and Nashville battled to a 0-0 draw. If you're worried about missing something, there was a red card in this for Nashville. So something did happen. Vancouver beat Toronto. Mueller scored twice. Josh Sargent is now a TFC player. He did not play, but $27 million for Josh Sargent.
Captain
That's
America.
Like almost as much as Sun, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's a massive signing.
There's the American tax there.
I was going to say,
there's the tariff. Okay.
I think it's on our own import. I think he's the most that's ever been paid for an American player.
Oh yeah,
for the MLS, that is.
Because Sun was one of the most expensive, I think. And then you're talking about Josh Sargent. I mean, I think he'll fit in really well and have a really good time there. You also have Mihalovic over at Toronto. They've been a very slow team now. Yeah, but I think that'll turn around for them. I really do.
Yeah, and they got
it's
money.
Just gonna take a little bit to gel.
Yeah, because they're like they people forget this.
They are one of the.
They are like LAFC rich.
They have money.
Like they got money. So
they brought in like Jermaine Defoe and that failed, and they're like, you know what? Oh well, we'll restart.
Insigne and Bernadeschi weren't cheap either. Like bringing them both over in the same time was like, oh my god, Giovinco. Like they can field a team, man. They can. Oof.
Crew and SKC 2-2. Crew equalized in the 82nd minute. They were awarded a penalty in the 83rd, which was saved by Pulskamp. So I was getting notifications. I think I was getting like tweet notifications on it. I think I put notifications on the MLS one or something on our stateside, and it was like awarded a penalty. Then it was like still tied. It was the next thing Crew tweeted or something, and I was like, "Oh, you missed." And then,
oh, you missed. Thing.
But it was back to back, man. 82nd equalizer, and then the penalty was saved. So SKC hold on there. And then we had Rapids beating Portland 2-0. Guess what? Another red card, Portland. And then Austin beating DC 1-0. In case if you were wondering if they were going to continue to ride high after beating Philly, the answer was no.
They got an easy matchup in the next one, though. Inter Miami comes to town.
In Baltimore.
Yeah, playing against the Ravens. Weird enough. So
I don't know how we don't have a soccer team, so they decided to.
It's going to be hard to stop Lamar Jackson for Messi. I think he's a little bit bigger.
You see, Messi was like, "We play football, so I want to play against the Baltimore football team," and that's what they were left with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you imagine? I would love to see Lamar try to. He is fast, but I wonder if it's a whole different thing when you're talking football. Soccer,
Yeah.
It's confusing when they both have the same name. Okay, so games next week. Let's take a look at what we have ahead here. 2:30, NYCFC versus Orlando in Yankee Stadium. We don't have many more Yankee Stadium games left here. Another year or so.
No, because the baseball team. Oh, I thought you meant this year because the baseball team's coming to town. That's what I thought you were going. I was like, oh, no, they
still play there.
I know they do. I know they do. That was the joke.
But Orlando. All right, what are your chances here, Logan? What do you think?
Not good.
Not good.
The chances of what? Sorry, of
I
us
was
winning?
gonna say a winning, but how about just getting a
No.
point?
I mean, it is away. It is away. We got a chance. It's not in our stadium. No, I'm going to go with no chance. I'm going to say that Orlando City, we will be talking about them in the next episode about
Still being
how
pointless.
much are we concerned about Orlando City?
Okay. DC and Miami, like you mentioned, 4:30 on Apple TV. It is at M&T Bank Stadium, right in my backyard. Not going to be there though, but it's there. Atlanta RSL at 7:30. Charlotte Austin at 7:30. Okay, the next two are at 7:30, so I don't repeat myself a lot. Crew in Chicago, Philly hosting San Jose. Oh shit. Oh man. I didn't look ahead here. That's not good. Oh man. I've just been hyping them up too. Oh god.
That was pretty funny.
So we'll both be pointless.
Yeah, we will.
Into next week.
Try us again in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Nashville and Minnesota at 8:30. SKC San Diego, St. Louis, Seattle. All of those are 8:30. 9:30, we have one game, Rapids and LA Galaxy. 10:30, we have two games, LAFC Dallas, Portland, Vancouver. Not looking good for Portland. I think Vancouver will smash them there. And then Sunday, there's two games as we also move the clocks forward, unfortunately.
Yay.
Red Bull New York hosting Montreal. Chalk that up as a Red Bull win. And then we have Cincy Toronto at 7 o'clock. And in case if you thought it couldn't get any worse for the Union, they have a CONCACAF Champions Cup matchup against Club America at 7 o'clock on Tuesday. Monterrey and Cruz Azul will face off, and LAFC will face I don't know, LDA. I forget what team that is. They don't let me click them or say the name. So there you go. Nashville and Miami will face off against each other. And Galaxy will face off against this, let me pull it up on FOTMob because the MLS app doesn't let me look up what these names are. Mount Pleasant is who the Galaxy is facing, and LAFC's team was Aluense. That's who it was. Okay. And then Cincy will be playing Tigres, and Vancouver will face off against Seattle. Those are this week. Leg ones, that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Some fun matchups there. I'll say this: there's not going to be an MLS winner of Champions Cup this year. I'll go out on a limb. We've only ever won once, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's not happening. Okay,
That's a little limb. It's like a twig.
Okay. Then we have San Diego versus Toluca as well. I didn't see that one, but there you go. I don't know if I mentioned that. And just in case, if we do not get a chance to record next week, here we go. Toronto, Red Bull New York at 1 o'clock. Atlanta versus Philly. Okay, there's a chance for a point there at the way Atlanta's playing.
Yeah.
That one will be on Big Fox as well. FS1 will have Columbus and Nashville at 6 o'clock. And then we have the 7:30 games. Charlotte versus Miami, NYCFC Rapids, Orlando, Montreal. Okay. There you go.
Home.
That's a chance.
It's a little shaky, but really bad.
Yeah, that's your downside. It's at home.
Yeah,
8:30, we have Chicago, DC, Dallas, San Diego, Houston, Portland. Then 9:30, we have LA Galaxy versus SKC, RSL versus Austin, and at 10:30, we have LAFC versus St. Louis. Then on Sunday, March 15th, the Revs versus Cincinnati at 2:30. Vancouver, Minnesota at 4:30, and San Jose, Seattle at 7 o'clock. Man, that one sounds fun. Ooh, what happens? This is something I don't think we've ever really dealt with yet. What happens if USL is striking during the Open Cup, which starts March 17th?
I wonder if it's because it's not with
It's not a
their
league match that
yeah,
they would
that
be able to play?
yeah, because there was also discussion of this on the baseball side of things, of like because the minor league system is not technically associated with the Major League
Yeah.
Baseball system, that they're gonna play. So yeah, I do
Mm.
wonder. That is interesting. I'm assuming they would
Because
play because it's
when
not
MLS locked out their players, that was in early January, and we did not have the Open Cup yet, and they fixed
right.
it before we only missed a week or two of the season. So it was not there was no issue of running into what
Yeah,
would
that's a good
happen to the
point.
Open Cup. So I'm really curious on that, but there's games coming up in the Open Cup soon. But there you go. So that's our week. Anything else you wanted to mention or that I missed, or games that you want to highlight or anything?
Trying to think. I'm like kind of looking through news, but I think we've hit on
There were some signings.
most everything. Um, yeah, I don't know. Liga Mekis and MLS are going to return for the All-Star game this year. So they're
Oh,
playing.
great. That means I won't have to watch it.
Yeah, so that'll be that. But I
It's the
don't
same
think
thing every time now. I'm
yeah,
tired of it.
yeah.
I'm tired of it.
But no, I did
With how much
see
quality, hold on, sorry. With
Oh, go ahead.
you got me going. With how much quality there is in the league now. We have like Timo Werner, we have Messi, we have all of these great players. Do East versus West. Let's do it for a year and see if it generates anything different than Liga Mekis versus MLS. Because then we immediately go into Leagues Cup. This year, some games will be played in Mexico, supposedly, so that's different. But just let's change something up.
Yeah. I guess this is one thing we could wrap up on. We are 99 days away from the FIFA World Cup 2026. A lot of political drama going on right now. There are rumors that Iran might be withdrawn from the tournament, and we'll talk about that as we get closer and decisions are made. But Jordan, are you looking forward to it? Like, we haven't really talked about it, I don't think, on like this version of the podcast. Like, we talked about it when the draw happened, but like, how excited are you? Like, what's the scale looking like? What are you looking for?
I'm still excited. It's a bummer
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to go to any games because
Yeah.
they've decided to price out people, but I'm still excited. I'm going to tune that kind of stuff out. I had to do it for the Olympics too because
That's true.
I was very excited to see the men win the hockey and the women to win the hockey as well. But everybody on both sides were making it some sort of political thing when I'm like, I just like seeing my team win. Okay.
Yeah.
I just like seeing my team win. And it's going to be the same thing for this. You're going to see a lot of people root against us because of stuff that is out of the players' hands and outside of our hands. And I'm not going to let that affect me. I'm just going to try to soak it in, and hopefully that there's a good experience to be had during this World Cup. And, hopefully we have a good World Cup, but I'm still very excited for it. I'm not going to boycott it or anything like that. It's just one of those things that it sucks that when we were awarded this, we thought it was going to go a different way, and it's been really bogged down by a lot of stuff. Just on everything, the pricing,
The sport,
the political
players,
stuff,
yeah.
There's just been so much stuff that has made headlines that really shouldn't have made headlines about this. And it's just a bummer because that's what also comes with the territory of hosting a tournament. So
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes. I'm really excited for it. I can't believe we're only 99 days away from it. It feels like not that long ago we sat here after the Netherlands game.
I know, it's
2022.
weird. Yeah.
It feels, and we did like a live stream right after the game.
Yep.
And we're bummed. And now here we are. Obviously it's 3.5 years because the 2022 one was a winter one, but it flew by.
4 friendlies left, or no, 3. I don't know why they have. There's 3 listed. They have U.S. Senegal twice on May 31st on Google. Don't know why.
We're gonna play that one twice.
Oh, sorry, it is 4. That's what happened. So something happened there where it glitched, and it's Germany, U.S. June 6th.
Yes.
So we've got a Belgium game coming up, which likely to see them at some point, maybe.
There is a possibility, yes.
Right.
Yep.
We have a friendly with Portugal. That'll be a good litmus test. They are a very good team. And then Germany, June 6th. Senegal's a good team as well, May 31st. Like, dude, like those are four really good games.
Yes,
yeah,
I love the
really
friendlies. We're playing big opponents that you might run into in this tournament.
Yeah.
Like, that is as good as it's going to get.
Yep. And then the World Cup. So, and then Jordan, they're going to be playing at times where we can watch it.
Where we can watch in the evening or like late afternoon. Yeah. Not early or
6 a.m.
Yeah, that's going to be the real big prize of it. I did get rid of my live TV, but I am going to resub to it for the month of June to July so I can watch these live again because, look, it's the World Cup. You don't get between me and the World Cup, so I'm very excited for it. Okay. And we'll be here. We'll be talking about it as much as we can. I can't make any promises of what we did last time because of how life is going, but we'll be here talking the U.S. men's team and just in general the World Cup and how it feels to have it hosted here and everything. And if we get a chance to go to a game or if we get a chance to go to like the events that happen, the watch parties, we'll talk about that stuff if that happens. But really looking forward to it. Anything else, Logan?
No, that was it. I just wanted to get the we're under 100 days I saw yesterday. So I was like, all right, we are 99 today. So I'm looking forward to it. It's easily my favorite tournament in any sport across the board.
And you know what? I'm actually really excited too because in a couple of days the World Baseball Classic kicks off for the USA.
I know you like it.
Yeah. I am going to be watching that. It's on Fox this year instead of just MLB Network, so that'll be fun. Yeah, go USA, right?
Or Japan.
We won the gold. We won the gold in hockey, both men and women.
Yeah.
Let's go win the baseball World Baseball Classic, and then let's follow it up with a World Cup win in the FIFA World Cup U.S. men's national team.
Sure.
I'm calling my shot, Logan. That's
a long ass
the great
shot.
Bambino pointing and saying we're gonna win the World Baseball Classic and the men's national team are gonna win the World Cup. So there you go. At Stateside Show on all of our social medias. Do not bet on that if you find it online somewhere because that's probably not going to happen. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll catch you next time.